That's tough to follow there. I want to talk a little bit about Waterfields today. And before I get into that, I want to talk about a little bit with Core Change and the attitude of bringing together improbable partners. Because I see so many people here today with diverse backgrounds, but we all come together. We come together here, and I think there's a lot of power in that. With Waterfields, when I look at our partners, it's such a diverse group. There's nothing that really would otherwise unify us besides Core Change, besides the mission, besides the passion. You've got Victor. Victor's a surgeon. You know, what does a surgeon have to do with Waterfields? We're growing produce. Paul Leffler, 40 plus years of IT. Dan Divelbis, working for the US EPA. Myself, getting my master's in business of administration at the time from Xavier University. But we come together with unified passion and a unified mission to really take action. And that's a very important part of this conference. And I think it kind of behooves us to take that to heart and to meditate on how we can bring action and how we can really make the impact and make the differences in our community. So a little background, going to myself. I was at Xavier University getting my master's, and I was in a consulting course. End of the course, last day, we gave all our final presentations, our final papers, and Vic comes in to speak. Very similar to what you saw today in the feel of that presentation. And to myself, I knew I had to do something. You know, I didn't know what. I felt, do I have the time for this? I was working full-time as the Director of Membership and Events for the India-US Business Network, a small nonprofit in Cincinnati, and I was going to school full-time, getting my master's. What time did I have? But I knew this was too important. There was too much going on for me to just sit back and watch. So I stepped up and started coming. We had 6 a.m. meetings, like-minded people coming together at 6 a.m. Full-time jobs. We can't devote time out of the day, but we can do 6 a.m. And so we met for months and months, and we started doing this. In November, we launched Waterfields. Waterfields is a urban ag development company. We're focused right now on growing microgreens, but we're looking towards other culinary specialty type items. A lot of it is a big, heavy focus on local being important. Just in the New York Times today, you can't make this kind of stuff up. There was an article on the projected price increases with produce, with fruits, vegetables, even meats, because of the prolonged droughts in California. For Cincinnati, 95% of our produce comes from California and Arizona. People think of Ohio and farms, but it's all coming from California and Arizona, and with this prolonged drought, we're looking at big cost increases. So the power of local is very encouraging. That New York Times article cited a 34% increase for lettuce. We're dealing with a commoditized product. 34% is huge. So microgreens, what the hell are microgreens? I get that all the time. It's not something that we're very familiar with, but they're really the 2-week-old version of plants. And that's the easiest way to put a lot of herbs. You can do anything from a micro stevia, the traditional sweetener, you can grow that. And they're used by mid to high-end restaurants all across the country. You'll see them a lot of times used as garnish. We just accept it and eat it. It tastes good. But high flavor, color is great. They're very visually pleasing. This is our spicy mix over here. But we've done very well. We started working in the community of Lower Price Hill. Lower Price Hill, Cincinnati has a median household income of $12,000. It's amazing. And we knew we had to be involved. We started going to community council meetings. We started engaging with Lower Price Hill Community School, an adult school, and really just a service provider in the community. One that's now looking at just bringing back base services to the community, a laundromat. Things that the community just can't support. You can't support a laundromat. Everyone has to do laundry, right? I mean, it's one of those base things, but the community has just been so ravaged. So we've come together. Sales have been incredible. People are buying our mission. They're buying everything that we're doing. We've had restaurants show us support by posting on their social media platforms, showing our mission, sharing the mission as partners, as part of the system, knowing that they can do the smallest things just by choosing Waterfields over another product, by choosing a product that's going to be shipped overnight, delivered in a FedEx box, versus something right in their community. So with Waterfields, one of our biggest outputs is to create livable wage jobs, benefits, and profit sharing for those members in that community, to build the wealth, to build not just the wealth, but the hope and the vision for those kids. This is an insight of what our product looks like when it's nice and appetizing, much better than just the plate of greens. But this is an oyster slider from Salazar's over in Cincinnati. Very delicious. But it's restaurants like these that make simple decisions. And there's a recurrence of that effect all over the country. There's plenty of research that shows that if people have two equivalent products and one has a good cause behind it, 90% of the time they'll make that switch. It's that simple. So Waterfields is building a cornerstone business, something to last for perpetuity. We're not your traditional startup. In a traditional startup, you take investment, you launch your idea, and you're looking to get out. You know, your investors are looking to get their payback. That's not us. We're looking to build a business not just for today, but for 20 years down the road. Because these communities need those businesses. They need those base centers of employment, not only for something that it's they have an equity stake in, but it keeps that community ingrained and growing. We need to be an anchor. Stable jobs with community wealth building. There's so much more than my lifestyle on board with Waterfields. It's not about me. It's about Kyrene. It's about the story with Vic. It's about those children. People will typically put fault on parents and will say, you know, they sent them in that direction. They did that. They commit those crimes or acts of violence. But you cannot blame these children. Born into this lifestyle, where the research shows if they're born in the bottom quintile, they have just a 5% chance to end, at the end of their life, be in that top quintile. It's those kind of things where we need to make an impact. Not just today, but years and years, and not just Cincinnati. There's so much work to be done. I want to challenge everyone in this room just to think about how they can get involved. Take action. Think about how to replicate or support what we're doing. We are at such a tipping point in Cincinnati with groups like Waterfields and what Brian will talk about very shortly with the Dream Center. There's so many opportunities for us to step in and create the efforts that are going to change this community and create a model for how we change struggling communities all across the United States. It doesn't matter if we impact 1 or 200. Our world needs this understanding of urban neighborhood talent development and job creation. This whole culture change, this whole how we create leaders from ravaged communities is so important. We're holding the cards in our hands. Everyone here is so lucky, and we're all holding the cards for change. We just need to play them. We can't talk. We have to do. Everyone has the potential in this room. I can't reiterate. I was a student at the time with a full-time job, and I had to do it. I had to bring passion. I had to bring my time as much as I can because it's too important. Kick poverty to the curb. Can't do it? I call bullshit. I know that's abrasive, that's rough. But those type of excuses, I don't have time. You know, I have kids, I have a full-time job, I have a business. Make room. Find partners, leverage strengths, connection, passion. There's enough in this room. I'm amazed by the talent in this room. Meeting with individuals yesterday was just incredible. Everyone is doing such amazing things. If we can come together and collaborate, the limits are absolutely non-existent. Be the catalyst, be the beacons of hope for hundreds of thousands in our country. We can do it. You know, we all know, we've done things in other countries and other communities. We all have nuggets of experiences that we can bring to the table, not just with system thinkings, but with all disciplines, with all areas of knowledge. It's all our personal toolkits. I write this Unity Assist. On the Cincinnati flag, there's a bit of Latin, and it translates to Unity Assist, and I think it applies really beyond what we're doing in Cincinnati, but to this room here, and it really resembles a strength in numbers approach, right? If we come together, there's only greatness that can occur from that. I put my personal contact information here, and I just encourage anyone to reach out who's interested. My personal phone number here, and I think that's the level of trust I have in this group here. So I'm going to turn things over to Brian, talk about more that's going on.